A lot of European American women have been wondering, how do you start a revolution? And I don't think a lot of people realize that your physical body is going to be in harm's way during a revolution, because European American women have always leaned or expected for Black and brown women to be on the front lines. But this time you're in the battle. You're in the battle. You're in the front lines. And I hope that this image also helps you guys to recognize you're not there yet. Nobody helped this woman. Nobody helped this woman. 3 men who were not wearing uniforms drug this woman out screaming. She was not causing a fit. Like, she didn't do anything besides voice her opinion. These men are not wearing police uniforms. One person identified themselves as a sheriff, and these are supposedly private security. I wouldn't be surprised if this is right-wing militia people that they are using for security in these Republican town halls. These are Nazi meetings. And I say you're not ready because 3 men dragged her out while people watched and filmed. Nobody helped. You guys aren't ready because if you do not find a way to revolute, you don't have community. You don't have protection. And if more of you are not ready to start putting your bodies in harm's way, like this woman has done forcibly, nobody protected her. If you're not ready to do that, they will actually be controlling your bodies.
When I start to see white women get treated like that, that shit fucking scares me. Because if they're going to treat white women like that, what you think they're going to do to me?
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, so there's something that has been going viral on the internet, Maureen, and today our eyes are on Idaho, right? So guys, I feel like the recent events and happenings that have been going on are really exposing palm-colored women, and this is not a video to attack anybody. We're just trying to talk about current issues.
Right, and also, you know, when palm-colored people and other groups of people keep insisting that black people don't have unity. I think the recent events, as you've said, have been an eye-opener of who does not really have unity with who. Right now, nobody in the palm-colored community should come at black people and say they do not have unity. As we are going to be seeing in the video today, a palm-colored person was allegedly attacked and dragged out of a town hall meeting, while other palm-colored people, both men and women, but most especially women, did nothing and they did not stand up for her. So today we are going to be looking at what exactly happened and how the black Americans, the female black Americans, reacted to this situation. So guys, before we talk too much, let's watch and then we come back with our commentaries. Let us know what you think about this video in the comment section. Also consider subscribing if you have not subscribed yet. Let's watch and then we come back.
I found the footage that led up to this moment, and they are straight up lying to you. This is a public town hall meeting. Pause to read. Here's everything they're claiming, and here's the actual footage.
Women are dying.
Ever since the Roe versus Wade, so doctors are protected against having to be forced to do abortions.
All right, hold on one moment here. Okay, again, you folks who are just popping off with stupid remarks, you're not taking into account the people sitting next to you. There's a bunch of people that came here to hear them. There's an opportunity for you to sound off, but not right now.
That's not a town hall.
Smart enough to know that. You're just crazy people. And what we're doing right now is just pausing while we get them out. If you can't be civil, get out.
She's not the only one yelling. She's not the only one booing. She's not the only one disagreeing. This is a public town hall meeting, and this kind of thing is happening all over the country right now.
We get it. We get it now. Black women are your attack dogs. The way they dragged that woman out of that town hall, And all we heard was hemming and hawing. Black women resting and not getting involved is such a revolutionary act. As indicated by that woman getting dragged out of that town hall, and those white women did nothing. When black women aren't involved, y'all are permissive as hell. Y'all let that woman get dragged away to God knows where, and you did absolutely nothing. I'm glad so many of us were able to see that video. Because that was a test. That was a test. And we see what you would do in the revolution. Absolutely fucking nothing. You would watch as we got dragged away and assaulted. You would watch. You would sit on the sidelines and watch. You would be a spectator as black women fight for everybody's rights. A lot of y'all wait for black people to throw the first punch. And this was a great example. When black people aren't involved, you're as harmless as a guppy. From here, black women are going to continue to rest because you have not shown us that you are ready and willing. What you have shown us is when it comes down to it, you will do absolutely nothing.
Good morning, good people. Happy Tuesday. So let's talk about it. So I don't know if y'all see it across y'all timelines or just across the social media and the news or whatever. What happened to the young lady who went to a Idaho? It looked like a meeting. I don't know if it was a Republican meeting. I don't know if it was a general town hall for the community, but she was dragged out. She was dragged out of that meeting, literally, for just asking questions. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as we all should, be pushing back on the narrative that's being spewed out here across this country. But I want to say this to my women. That proved to us, black women, at 92%, on why we feel that y'all are very performative, and also why we know that y'all not true allies and y'all only in it for yourself. Because that was a lady, and she was forcibly removed, dragged out. They literally drug her out. Like the sheriff, was off duty. He wasn't even in his uniform, and him and some other individuals was literally pulling that lady out by her hands, literally dragging her. But yet I saw other women laughing, clapping, telling me to move out. And y'all wonder why black women do not want to do anything with y'all. Because if it was a black woman and it was other black women that was in there, and when we saw that them people was dragging her out, baby, just know it would have been a tussle up in there. Because one thing about black women, we stick together, but we would never allow anybody to disrespect another woman, let alone drag her out of a place like that. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. So that's showing me that y'all don't even support y'all own, but yet y'all want us to join forces with y'all. No, we resting, and we resting for good reasoning, because that video shown us how y'all allowed that lady to be dragged out that form, and she didn't do anything wrong, but just answering questions shows us all we need to know.
This woman was assaulted in front of a room full of white people, and absolutely no one stood up for her. No one stopped it from happening. In fact, most of them were cheering it on. There are no women of color who need to be putting themselves on the front lines right now. I think this is the beginning. I think things are about to get a lot worse. I think we are going to see this country start to descend into a complete dystopia. And I think this is the start of a movement that is going to be about controlling women and the forcible silencing of women. Women of color are not the ones who got us in this mess. And we do not need to be trying to put ourselves on the front lines in this moment. This is going to be the time to stay aware and protect ourselves. No woman of color should be trying to put themselves on the front lines right now.
Remember when June from The Handmaid's Tale said, we didn't listen when they started taking away our rights. We didn't listen when they got rid of the Constitution. We didn't listen when they started unaliving politicians. She wasn't talking to the general public. She was talking to palm-colored women. Because what we saw at the town hall in Idaho is what June was talking about. That is now going to be the norm. When you from either side of the aisle, because remember, Serena wrote the same laws that ended up getting her finger chopped off when she said, no, I need more rights. I'm one of the good ones. Fred reminded her, you're just a woman. We're starting to see the starting of handmaids, because the amount of people who were like, oh, well, she's a Democrat. Serena was a Republican too. And now Serena has 9 fingers.
Hi, if you're a white woman, I would love for you not to scroll. And if you are not a white woman, feel free to stay, obviously. But be nice, okay? There's a goal I'm trying to achieve here, and we gotta work together to do this shit. All right, back to the white women. Hi. I'm gonna need y'all to stand on business, okay? I really need y'all to do it, okay? And I know for a fact that a lot of y'all do, okay? I interact with y'all every day, okay? Because some of y'all some down bitches, okay? And I love that. But I'm gonna need y'all to not let anything like that Idaho town hall ever happen, okay? We just having a conversation on my other video talking about the Montgomery brawl that happened in 2023 when homie dude threw his hat up. That happened because black people saw a black man getting jumped by a whole bunch of white people and ran to his side to help. That woman that was dragged out of that town hall should never have been fighting them people by herself. Now, I understand that there's a nuance, and I'm sure if I remember correctly, that town hall was very right-leaning and stuff like that. But let me tell you something. I'm saying white women specifically because the group of people that is working against all of us collectively are white men, okay? That being said, y'all are in the group with everybody else that's going to get fucked over if this shit continues going in the direction it is. And one thing that I need y'all to do is act like y'all know each other and love each other. Because until you do that, we are not going to be fixing anything. We're not going to be able to get past anything. We're not going to be able to fight anything. We're not going to be able to do any of that shit. Because let me tell you something. If I saw a black woman get a drag out of the town hall like that, my ass would have jumped up. I don't care if I'm getting arrested. I'm fighting them off of her. And I guarantee you, me and all the other black women with me are going to do the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that all of y'all are not about it. I'm not saying that at all, because I know some people are going to come up and be like, I would do it. That's great. I'm not talking to you. Who I am talking about is all them white women that sat there and looked at her do that. Look at her get dragged out. Even the ones that thought it was not okay. Because we are now in an administration that is going to continue to do shit like this. We are in an administration that's going to start inflicting violence against people. Everyday people. When I start to see white women get treated like that, that shit fucking scares me. Because if they're going to treat white women like that, what you think they're going to do to me? What you think they're going to do to people that look like me? So what I'm saying is that if you see anybody having any kind of issue like that, being violently attacked like that, being drug out, having their rights extremely violated, you need to do something. You don't need to record it. You don't need to sit and be like, oh my God, that's so sad. What the hell? Oh my God. Do something.
And I know we all watched the town hall meeting in Idaho, right? I really hope that girl gets her bag. I really don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Like, this should genuinely concern you. That man at the podium stood up and said, she spoke out, and now she doesn't want to suffer the consequences. I'm disappointed in a few people. That man that stood up out of the aisle seat, why'd you get up? And I'm glad that people recorded, but why were more people not getting up and doing anything? And I know they're going to get in trouble because that off-duty sheriff violated her rights, and the two men that decided to grab her, that's assault and battery. You did not provide any identification. Like, I still don't know if those were regular men or if they were in fact his deputies, also off-duty. And the minute that the zip ties came out, attempted kidnapping. We had a small win at the governor's ball. We had a small win with the military choir singing "Do You Hear the People Sing?" But we are watching in real time people have their rights violated and taken away from them. It's time to do more than sing.
The Republican view of manliness and courage involves stepping out of the way so that the boots can come in and drag a woman away because she spoke her mind at a town hall. How courageous to stand up against a woman's voice by stepping out of the way and letting unnamed powers come in and drag her and assault her as she's screaming, "Who are you?" Republican men are so courageous to stand up for each other and let the women go down. Wow. I think that guy bothered me most, the one who stepped out of the way and allowed them to assault her, because it shows this collaboration between the everyday GOP Republican and the fascism. Because if there's not that kind of cooperation, this doesn't happen. Stop complying with fascism.
So a white woman was dragged out of a town hall meeting in Idaho. A white woman was dragged out by her feet, her arms, and her hair by a group of at least 4 burly white men wearing black jackets and dark blue jeans. They were the militia. This happened at a Republican town hall. When we think about when this thing really popped off, like 20 years from now, when we start talking about when this thing popped off, I can almost guarantee you historians are going to refer to that moment. Historians are going to refer to the moment when a group of white men from the militia, the white militia in Idaho, they call them hired security. But we know, wink, wink, it's the militia in Idaho. They dragged her out because she refused to be silent. And not a single one of her neighbors in attendance came to her rescue. Not a single man and not a single woman stood up and said, "No, you can't do this. We are citizens. We still have freedom of speech in this country." Nope. They didn't do that. They let a group of white men, the militia, drag her out. They recorded it. They took video, right? Because everybody likes to video, people being assaulted in this country, especially women. Y'all really love, making videos of women being assaulted and black people being assaulted. Y'all really love that. No one came to her rescue. No one intervened. Forget about political party. It was just wrong. At one point, you can hear one of the men assaulting her say, "If you just relax and calm down, this would be a lot easier on you." And she responded with, and accurately so, "That's what rapists say." Which I thought was Queen Chef's kiss. But when we return to this moment from the future and we talk about when did it pop off? At what moment did it pop off? This is going to be in the top 3. This moment is going to be in the top 3.
Please put Idaho Town Hall in your search bar and watch those men who were not police officers drag that white woman out of her seat onto the ground and out of the town hall to God knows where to do God knows what because they didn't like what she had to say. And watch the white women around her who sat on their ass and did nothing. There was some grumbling, but not a single one of them took any action to protect that woman. And that's why y'all keep calling black women. That's why y'all keep saying where they at, where we at. Because you want us on the front line. You want us to be dragged off by strange men to have God knows what happens to us when we get taken to God knows where. Because you're not about the revolution, no matter how much you talk about it, no matter how much Macklemore you play, no matter how many Handmaid's Tale episodes you watch. I don't know what angry white women look like.
So guys, welcome back. You know, one thing that resonated with me, one of the sisters here spoke and said that palm-colored people are still waiting on each other in order for them to stand up, or they're still waiting on black people to stand up for them. And one thing I can also agree with these sisters on is that black people really did a good thing by not getting involved in any of the palm-colored person's war, because this is a very prime example of, if they can't stand for each other, if they can't defend each other, why do they expect black people to come in and defend them if they're not? Because right now it has been established they're not standing up for each other, and therefore most certainly this very same group of people who let this woman be dragged out of that hall will never stand for any other group. You know, this incident just painted a whole clear picture of what had happened. If we didn't have the chance to watch what happened on TikTok or these trending videos, if somebody would have told you this story, I feel like this really paints a clear picture of how okay, just imagine a woman being dragged out, and there's a lot of people in this room and nobody is doing nothing. And I believe there's a reason why people decided to congregate in this town hall, because they wanted to discuss sensitive issues, right? And this woman, being an activist, she believes in something, and she went there believing that they all wanted change. So because of this, I do feel like it was quite weird for people to just watch. Like, you mean to tell me not one single person had the physical strength to stand up for this woman the same way she had the bravery and courage to stand up for everybody, that this led to her being kicked out of the town hall in a disgraceful manner. And you know, guys, there's a speaker here who talked about who asked the question, yeah, let's focus on the palm-colored women first for a second before we even go to the palm-colored men, right? And she asked the question, why don't they help their own? This is someone who looks like you. Like, what excuse can you use? If it were a black woman, okay, we are used to palm people standing aside and watching it as it unveils, yeah? But this is someone who looks like you. This is one of your own people, and the things she was talking about is something that affects each and every one of you. But then again, let's talk about the black community and the pivotal role they normally play in the American activism and the change that the society needs. So we find ourselves in a situation where black American women have decided, you know what, it's time for us to take a rest. And after they did this, a lot of things have quite genuinely been exposed. Like, for example, these palm-colored women, how they're all big on talking too much, but when it comes time for the action, they don't know how to walk their talk. And somebody said here, for them to create change, revolution doesn't just start with you going and, you know, calling out things. It starts with you coming forward and being ready to march with the understanding that in such times people do get hurt. There will be physical harm to people who participate in revolutions, and we are seeing this happen. So I feel like this is quite an eye-opener for a lot of people, even the palm-colored women, and it's time for them to learn. And I do have a feeling that they're learning the hard way. And this is quite, I don't know if this you'd say is karma, or it's quite hard to believe that a lot of them voted for they voted for the current president they have right now, and they were really, really proud. And right now, the things that are happening are also affecting them, be it physical or mentally or financially. It's affecting them, and they're getting first-handed treatment of black people and how black people normally feel when things in America are working against them. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Right, and then one thing I feel like in this day and age, I feel like a lot of palm-colored people, if not most, have now started understanding and have now started realizing that it is upon them to start any revolution that's gonna take place in America, and it is upon them to start fixing the country because it is majority of them who put the country where it is right now. Yeah, guys, and another thing we're asking is if they're treating our palm-colored women the way they are, right? Because I feel like in the society of America, there's always been a hierarchy to how they do things, and somehow palm-colored women have always benefited from the white supremacy. So I feel like those people who are calling out Handmaid's Tale in this in the actions that are unveiling in America, I feel like they have a valid reason, because this is an issue that if palm-colored women are being treated like this, can you imagine how they'll treat the black population and black American women? Can we just imagine how they're gonna do that? So I'd really like to know if there, because I know there are some who watch us from palm-colored women. I'd really like to know, after seeing what has happened in this video, like what is your thoughts? Like what is the action you're gonna be taking moving forward? Mentally, do you feel like you're prepared for this? Because I feel like whatever is happening is gonna catch people, whether you're prepared or not. Right, so guys, let us know what you think about this episode. Also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.